And
You see that?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. There's a bug crawling on my wall.
Take this over. I got this.
No, it's all right.
You sure?
Yeah, because then I'm gonna get a stain on the wall if I smash it.
You want me to eat it?
No, don't eat it. We'll just let him walk his course.
What kind of bug is it?
I don't know. I can't really tell if it's it's not big enough to be an earwick.
No, it's definitely not a cockroach.
No.
It's a...
This is the worst segment in the history of our show.
You think it's a marsupial?
No.
No, okay. All right, anyway, who did I say?
Monster Mafia.
Monster Mafia. Number 2, American Wolves.
It was my turn, but that's okay.
No.
Isn't it?
You went 2, now I go 2, and you go 1 and 1.
I didn't go 2.
You did.
I only went 3.
Right, you went 2 in a row, though.
Yeah. I went... All right, well, you can keep going.
I'll show you how the draft works after this.
Oh, thanks.
Number 2 for me, the American Wolves. Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards. They're a tag team where you could use both of those guys solo or together. They're one of the, I would say, the best tag teams in the last 15 years. They both bring a championship pedigree. I'm not just saying that, and they are fun to watch. I've had battles with the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, the Briscoe brothers. I'd love to see the American Wolves come back.
So I had Matt Sydal, number 2. I know he was there, but they didn't do as much with him as I would have liked to see them do. And I think he's a really talented guy in the ring and puts on really good matches anywhere he goes. And I thought Impact actually has done a better job with him than Ring of Honor did because they featured him right away. Like, he won a bunch of matches. They put him in some X Division matches that were all entertaining. And now they actually pushed him into a slot where he's wrestling main event level guys like Bobby Lashley. And all his matches that I've seen there have been good. The ones I've seen him in PWG have been really good. The stuff he did in Ring of Honor was good as well, but I think they could have done a lot more with him, and they could benefit from a guy like him in, maybe the TV title division or something like that. So I think that would be
veteran presence too. He's been all around the world. He knows what he's doing. He could help train.
Yeah. So he's been there. He's been around a long time. So I think he would definitely help them out. And then number 1 I had was Ricochet on my list because he really, I think, is at a point where he should be getting more of a prominent national spotlight, at least in the United States. He's done some stuff with Lucha Underground. He's done some things in Japan, but I think it's it would be good for one of the major promotions in the U.S. And I guess that would either be Ring of Honor, Impact, or WWE would sign him and do some things with him and feature him, whether whatever division you want to put him in. But he's a guy that's really, really fun to watch. So I think that would be something that if Ring of Honor TV shows, like we've talked about recently, they don't really have a lot on them that makes you want to sit and watch the shows. But if if he was on wrestling a match, I'd probably want to see it. So
yeah, he's it's interesting. There were 2 groups that I was deciding between, but I'm gonna go number 1. I'm gonna say OVE, Ohio versus Everybody, or OI4K. Ohio is for Killers. Of Jake and Dave Christ, Sami Callihan, and Havoc. I say that because each of them they're kind of like Sanity at the end of the day. That's kind of maybe where Sanity kind of got a lot of their mannerisms from. But also, they are great characters, and I feel like Ring of Honor right now is missing the character depth. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, they're missing a lot of storyline depth, I think, and maybe that kind of comes from not having a lot of great characters and gimmicks that they can work with.
Right. Did you have anybody close, like just outside?
No, I was trying to think of different guys. I mean, I thought of some. I was trying to think of all the guys on the independent scene, right? Like I thought of maybe like Zack Sabre Jr., but I'm not like a huge fan of his style. And
he's been working faster in New Japan. I think you might like his style a little more now, but I hear you.
But yeah. So it's guys like that. I mean, Michael Elgin has been there. I consider somebody like him.
Yeah, I was thinking too.
But I mean, he's a New Japan guy.
He didn't really connect with the crowd either when he was here.
Yeah, I think once he lost the title, and then turned heel right after that, I think that kind of was it for him. Yeah. So I think those. I mean, I'm sure there's others. I thought of, but I can't really remember them right now.
I was close to Catch Point. I really like Catch Point. Tracy Williams, Jaka, Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson. I like those guys. We're actually going to see them in a couple weeks when we go to the Evolve show, which Davey Richards just pulled out of. I don't know if you saw that.
He's out of that show?
He's out of the...
Oh, okay. Is the replacement that they named, is he going to be at that show?
No. They didn't announce a replacement for the show that weekend, but did you see the replacement this weekend?
Well, I saw Cedric Alexander is replacing him.
Yeah,
right.
That's this weekend. I don't know about the New York show stuff.
He's sick or something, right? Or he has surgery, right?
I think he said something about his leg.
Yeah, so there's some issue.
Some people are burying him online. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
A lot of people just, I mean, the guy's a full-time paramedic. It's kind of weird.
Can't heal himself, I guess.
What?
Can't heal himself.
Oh, come on.
Well, he can't.
A little too, it's too
like
soon.
You can dentist. We can do clean your own teeth, fill your own cavities.
I mean,
Come on.
probably.
I don't know.
Tattoo artists can tattoo themselves.
That's
6 to 1, half dozen to another, right?
yeah, same thing.
Other interesting news this week. We were talking a little about the Bray Wyatt segment on Raw. He wrestled, of course, Goldust, who cut a promo. I like that seamless transition, huh? It was smooth. It was almost like it was supposed to be there. Dun dun dun. Goldust. I'm going somewhere with this. Goldust took off his. Bray Wyatt rubbed off his face paint, and now Dustin Runnels went to Kurt Angle as Dustin, not as Goldust, and he asked for a match with Bray Wyatt, which is fine. This is on the heels of the announcement that WWE is bringing back Starrcade for the first time since 2000. If they didn't do it in 2001, it was a WCW only pay-per-view that was created by Dusty Rhodes, Dustin's father. So a couple people took to Twitter. Cody Rhodes took to Twitter, and his wife took to Twitter, kind of, in not so many words, but bashing the WWE for using Cody's father's idea, but only once he passed away. What do you think about this whole situation?
I mean, I don't see. I mean, it's kind of I think it's a waste to use the name on a house show. And I mean, I get what they're trying to do.
Is it going to be on the network, do you think?
I would think that they should put it on the network. I don't know if they will. I mean, it would be nice if they did. I mean, the card seemed like it has a lot on it. They put a lot out, already.
Is the Rock and Roll Express legit on the card?
They said, I think it was the Rock and Roll Express and Ricky Steamboat are appearing on the card, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they have, there's a cage match on the card, right? Jinder and Nakamura, I believe, in a cage match. And then they've got Charlotte Flair was featured.
Against Natty in a cage.
Yeah.
2 cage matches, yeah.
So I think there's a 3-way, right, for the U.S. title. I believe it's AJ Styles and Rusev and Baron Corbin. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. It says Booby Roode.
Boobs,
yeah.
Right? That's a pay-per-view. That's better than No Mercy. Just like looking at that card. I think it's better than No Mercy. Well, it's got potential.
Brock versus Braun and Cena versus Roman. Jinder versus Nakamura in a cage. Not doing it for me.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you think it's interesting timing? They waited until now? Think there's a reason for it? What do you think the whole thought process is?
I don't know. I can only guess that somebody must have had an idea to say, like, hey, we've got a show coming up in North Carolina. What if we used, a name or something from the past to try to get more people to come to the show? And I don't know. That's my guess as far as what it was. It's probably just somebody had an idea, and it's a house show, and part of what they should be doing is trying to get more fans to come to house shows. Obviously, that's something that they want to probably drive up. I mean, so now we talked a little before. Some of the SmackDown attendance this week at the show was not very good, and Raw, I think, was also kind of down. And I can only imagine that house shows are probably having trouble drawing as well. So maybe somebody just came up with the idea and decided, like, hey, let's use Starrcade and we'll make it like a thing, and I'll have a couple old time guys come back, and maybe we'll get some more fans to come to the show. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, if I was there, I would go. I mean, I would definitely watch it. There's a lot of wrestling on that show.
I mean, I wish they would have done it as like a pay-per-view for like December, as opposed to the dumbass TLC and Hell in a Cell and all the
Mercy
crap
and all these Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, like
all these.
What if they had a pay-per-view in December in North Carolina, and this freaking thing's flying around my house now?
Yeah, it's a moth. I found it.
Pay-per-view in North Carolina in December for SmackDown and call it Starrcade, and then you can do the same exact card that we just listed out and have those guys still have the old-timers appear, right? You could do a segment with them. I'm sure they could have somebody come out in the middle of it and, putz around or whatever. I think having that kind of card that we just listed a lot of the matches on, it was a pay-per-view caliber card, and have those guys on the show and call it Starrcade, and you can have like the same design and logos and stuff like that.
They should have the old school design. I think that would be great. I think this is a great opportunity for WWE to kind of turn back the clock here and don't have the 98, 99 stupid logo. Have like the mid 80s logo. I think that would be super cool. Make the ropes the way they used to look in NWA back then. Yeah,
it would be nice too. I mean, I don't know what his status is, but if Ric Flair is healthy enough to make an appearance or something, or just walk out in front of the crowd and wave, I think that would be cool too. Like especially at something like that.
I heard he gave up drinking.
I did. I heard that too. Yeah, he's not drinking anymore.
Quitter, right?
Hulk Hogan also said he was never going to drink again on Twitter one day after he probably went on a bender or something. So.
Well, let me tell you something. If I was 70 years old and I drank every single day for the better part of 55 years, I'd probably quit at some point too.
That's fair.
Now, I don't know if you saw, but Michael P.S. Hayes responded to Cody Rhodes. Did you see this?
I did see all of that.
And invited him to Starrcade. And then Matt Hardy got wind of it. And Matt Hardy said, well, if we're going to be there, then why don't you bring the Bucks of Youth? So is there any chance?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
Nope.
No, there's no chance.
No chance.
It's all... Do you think... Because Cody's not contracted, so Cody actually could show up if he wasn't the Ring of Honor champion. The Bucks have that exclusive deal. There's no way they could show up.
Right.
And I don't think... I think there's so much ill will between Cody and the WWE. I just don't see that happening. I did hear CM Punk was going to come back to Starrcade, though. I made that up. No, that was... that was a work.
You did make it up.
So, I mean, again, I still want to see Halloween Havoc. That was the best pay-per-view. For my money, Halloween Havoc was the most fun. You have a spin the wheel, make the deal match. No. One day, eventually in 2 years, when WWE runs out of ideas, we're going to get ourselves a Halloween Havoc. So,
one day.
You know what today is?
Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
What it is, apparently.
You know what that means? It's the start of the football week.
All right.
And we would like to welcome you into our new favorite segment, Two Idiots Talking Sports, or as we call it, Tits.
You're watching Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee. Fish tacos are the tits. Tits! Show us the tits!
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the gimmick? You feel good about it?
I literally... Oh,
That's good.
That is tremendous. That is top-notch creativity on your part.
Let's see if we can get some football music in the background here. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Let's make it a little lower so we can actually hear. All right, there you go. You ready? What's the matter?
Talk about high budget, huh?
Come on.
This is fucking
this is what they
great.
do.
This is how millionaires are made, man. I have a couple of ideas. Who would have thought a week and a half ago we have a segment called Tits featuring NFL primetime music?
Sponsored by WWE P-Porn on Twitter.
Yeah, actually, and the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell's a big fan of
That
tits.
fucking
just
bozo.
so that you know.
Don't you know, he's a big fan of men's tits.
Well, is that confirmed? We don't know.
I read a book.
All right, good.
It's called Roger Goodell's Eats
Oh.
Ass.
Mine was To Kill a Mockingbird. But that sounds good too. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Actually, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so last week was an interesting week in the world of football. You're a Giants fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. We sucked last week. It
was not a good week, yeah.
We sucked.
Not good.
Everything sucked. I can't.
What's the matter?
I can't. You popped me. Let's just play this. I'll just shut up and just listen to this for
No, it's good music, but we got to,
great
This
music.
was the background. I don't know.
Cowboys played first. Cowboys played on 4 p.m. Well, they were supposed to play on 4 p.m. on Sunday. They didn't. Nobody showed up at all. Dak had a decent game on because he had to throw the ball 175 times for the first time in his career. Zeke rushed 9 times for 7 yards. The defense wasn't there. Literally, I don't know. It was the roughest game in the Dak era. I think it's fair to say. There was an interesting call of leaping. It's a 15. What do they call that? It's called leaping, right?
Well, you're talking about on the field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't push off on another lineman or defender.
I always thought it was like jumping over the guy.
It used to be, and I think they changed the rule.
Okay.
I think it's changed this year where you can't like post off some guy and like give yourself more of a lift. That's
well, if that's the case, then I guess it was a legit call. That kind of changed the whole complexion of the game. We were down 10-0 out the gate, but it's going to be an interesting to see how Zeke comes back next week because he got buried by everybody on the internet because he gave up on a couple of plays, which you can't sit there and pout like a little bitch. You can't have a sour puss on your face and not play. Dak's out there, Dak and Zeke are two completely different animals. Dak Prescott handles himself like a quarterback. He's methodical. He's not overly emotional. Zeke Elliott runs for 165 yards, and he's doing, the salsa in the end zone a la Victor Cruz. He rushes for less than 5 yards, and he's sitting on the bench crying. Man up, and be consistent. I understand you're a little frustrated that you abandoned the running game, But when you go down by 21 before the half, you have to abandon the running game. So that's my honest take on my Cowboys Broncos.